Anybody with me? Hello? Hey, Roger. How's Roger? How's everybody doing? Hey, Melissa. Hey, Penny Joe. Retha. April. Hey, everybody. I don't know if you caught my video from earlier today, but earlier today I came on live and I put on a pot of beef stew. So if you want to see how I made my beef stew, then go back and watch the video from earlier today. I'm going to show it to you here in a moment. And what I'm fixing to put on now, I thought would go good with beef stew, is some Mexican cornbread. Now this is Donnie's recipe, and he makes really great Mexican cornbread. And he may say I just messed it up by doing this with the butter, but maybe I didn't. So Donnie makes really good Mexican cornbread. So I'm starting out with 2 cups of cornmeal, self-rising cornmeal. I have got probably, well, let's just see how much it is. I think it's about a half a cup of finely chopped onion, diced onion. Yeah, about a half a cup. That's what I've got here. And some fresh jalapeno peppers. However many you want in there is up to you and your taste and your liking. This is quite a bit. I'm going to throw, I don't know if I'm going to throw all of them in. Probably about a half a cup of those. But I'm going to just kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to stir those around. It's probably enough. I want to be able to eat it. And I'm going to put in 1 cup, I believe it's 1 cup. That's what I'm going to put anyway, of shredded extra sharp cheddar cheese. Okay? So there's the cheese. And next, I am going to put in 1 can of cream style corn. Fagan's on the back deck barking at me. He'll be all right. So we'll throw in 1 can of just whatever kind of cream style corn you like. I really need a new can opener, guys. But I'm not buying one from Pampered Chef, so don't nobody ask me. I have lots of things from Pampered Chef, but those can openers are too high. I'm just not going to go for that. Penny, I remember when you guys came. Now, I didn't know that you were in Florida. I thought you were from Michigan. Maybe you've moved to Florida? But thank you for clarifying that. All right, so 2 cups of cornmeal and about a half a cup of small diced onion, finely chopped onion, however many chopped jalapenos, a can of cream style corn, and a cup of cheese. Now I'm going to go in ahead and throw 1 egg in. Also, half a cup of sour cream. That's about half a cup. So half a cup of sour cream. And some buttermilk, and I don't remember if it's a cup or a half a cup, so I'm going to start out with half a cup. and see how it looks. Get that egg broke up in there. Now Donnie said we cook this in a glass cake pan, and Donnie said he always butters his cake pan. So I put like a half a stick of butter in it and stuck it in the oven. Thank you, Penny. All right, I think I'll go ahead and put a little more, the rest of the buttermilk in there. It seems a little thick, so I'll put a cup of buttermilk. Okay, I have my oven heated, I just slopped that everywhere, to 450. Since I'm cooking it in that glass pan. You know, I always cook my regular cornbread on 500. But since I'm cooking it in that glass pan, I decided to cook it on 450. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the rest of those peppers in there. We'll fire it up tonight, guys. That ought to be enough. Okay, so now I've got this butter melted in my glass cake pan. I almost browned my butter. And it's hot because I had it in the oven. I'm going to pour it in this long glass 9 by 13. Whew. Almost 11 by 14. That's a picture. 9 by 13 glass cake pan with butter. And I'm going to just put it in the oven and let it bake until it's done. So let me set that over there and go ahead and open my oven. And throw this in there. I don't really know exactly how long to bake it, but we're just going to bake it till it's done. Hey, Miss Sandra and Sheila. I don't know if it's Anthony or Jessica watching. Penny, I remember when I was really young, I mean, I can barely remember this, but I remember you guys coming down, all of y'all, when we were all kids, and I was really, really young, and I can remember us running through the woods and the hills and the holler, all over the holler. So I remember, that's a memory I have of you. All right, so let me show y'all my beef stew. If you missed it earlier, go ahead and let me move this cutting board out of the way because I'm done with it. Go ahead and pull up the video from earlier today. And I'll tell you what I did. I had a beef roast and I just cut it up into stew pieces. And I breaded it with some seasoned flour and browned it in my cast iron skillet. And because I got a late start on it, I browned my meat, and then I had a big soup pan on the stove, and I put a quart jar of home canned tomatoes. You can buy tomatoes, it's perfectly fine. I use bought ones all the time. Usually I'll use crushed tomatoes for stew. But I put a whole quart in there. I put a whole box of, it's actually right here in the garbage, of beef broth. 32-ounce box of beef broth. Put that in my pot. I had chunked up some potatoes and carrots. And if you can see, they're pretty big sized chunks because in my stew, I like it to be big sized chunks. I chunked up carrots and potatoes and put that into the broth and the tomatoes. I had a little bit of onion I had chopped up, and I put it into the skillet with the meat that I was browning and let the onion brown and soften with the meat. I put some green peas in there, a few green beans in there, and then I put a can of tomato soup, just Campbell's tomato soup. It helps to thicken up your broth. Now, a lot of times I'll use tomato sauce or tomato paste, but I didn't have either one of those, so I put tomato soup. Then Then my meat had got brown, so I put that over into the pot. And I brought it all up to a good rolling boil. Of course, I salted and peppered and all that. Brought it up to a good rolling boil so that it was started cooking really good because I had a late start. And then I transferred it over to my crock pot. And that was probably about, by the time I got it all done and into the crock pot, it's been about 3 hours, just a little over 3 hours. So it has cooked in the crock pot for 3 hours. So I have cooked it on high. Now, a lot of times I will do this. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it'll catch up in a minute. A lot of times I'll do this on in the morning before I go to work. If you can see that. And when I do it in the morning before I go to work, I put it in the crock pot and let it cook all day. You can let it cook all day on low. Now, I cooked it on high for about 3 hours in the crock pot. This beef, I can just cut it with my fork. See that? I just cut it with my fork. There we go. So this is really hot. My carrots, if you can see those, are nice and big. My potatoes are nice and big. And my juice is like a thick gravy. And that's what I want when I'm making stew. When I'm making soup, I want it to be a broth, but I want it to be a thick broth, but not necessarily like gravy. And this is like gravy. I'm trying to let it cool down just a little bit. Yeah, Debbie, you might want to leave it and come back and see if it helps you. You can still hear me. Okay, so I'm going to see how hot this is. It is hot. Let me move this kind of out of my way. But it is really tasty. The broth is really tasty. Now there's a piece of the meat. Since it has cooked all day or several hours in that crock pot, that beef is really good and tender. So it's just fine. I had thought maybe if it hadn't got good and tender, that I might put it into my pressure cooker. Let's see how the carrots are. Because you know, sometimes the carrots are the hardest thing to get to cook and be tender. They're good and tender. They're done. It's all good. Okay. So that is my beef stew. Let me check. The cornbread's cooking, and it's going to take it a little bit. I don't really know how long, but we're going to let it cook for a little longer and let it get done. Good, Debbie, now you can see. Great. I've got a big old pot of beef stew, so I think we're going to have plenty to eat for a few days. All right. So I saw somebody said that they may be having to make this at their house this weekend. So hopefully I've given you some good ideas. And it's going to cool up this weekend. And beef stew or chicken stew or soup or chili would be great for this coming weekend because it's going to get cooler. But of course I like it anytime. I'm stuck again, huh, Deb? Maybe you're having some internet issues over there on the hill, Deb. I'm going to eat another bite. I'm going to have mine all ate before Donnie gets home. And before my cornbread gets done. Now, Donnie is the better cornbread maker when it comes to Mexican cornbread. Fagan's barking again. But hopefully if I keep trying, I'll get pretty good at it. His recipe is really good, but I'm gonna make it tonight. We're gonna eat it, and maybe it'll be good. Let me go let Fagan in before he beats the door down. I had to run to the store. Had to go see about picking up some medicine today for my mom. So while I was there, I got Fagan a toy. Y'all want to see how crazy he goes over toys? There you go, buddy. Now we'll hear that squeak for the next 30 minutes. Let me wash my hands. He loves a squeaky toy. So he's gonna whine about it. He's carrying it down the hall. But I hope you go back and watch the video from earlier today. Yes, those spoiled pups. He knows when I bring bags in. I haven't unpacked everything because I just ran in last minute. So I've still got most everything in the bags. But when I start emptying out bags, he starts looking for where his toy is. So he knows if I go to the store, he's got something. So yeah, those dogs are spoiled. Mine are anyway. Well, I only have one now. I'm down to one, but he is very spoiled. This crock pot on high, it did the trick. Like I said, 3 hours in the crock pot on high. And this beef, I can cut it with a spoon. Are you having a cow? What's the matter? What you got? You got a new toy? You got a new toy? Okay, we'll go hide it somewhere. He is so spoiled. I have to actually, he doesn't eat much. And a lot of nights I have to sit down and actually hand feed him to get him to eat. He's not like a normal dog. Some days he'll eat and then he'll go 2 or 3 days and not eat. Well, maybe 2 days. Okay, what'd you do with it? Listen. Nobody wants to hear you bark. Nobody wants to hear you bark. Okay? He says, but I'm going to bark. Let's check on our cornbread. It is going to take a little bit. It looks thicker than Donnie's. I think he told me the wrong recipe. You know, he set me up for failure. It's probably what he's done because it looks thicker than his, so it's not going to be as good. Yeah, normally he'll tear it up in about 2 seconds, Debbie, but sometimes he likes to leave it intact for a while just to annoy me and make it squeak. So, that's how he does. Now he's in the bedroom barking at it. I should have waited, but I just want to see, let y'all see what I have to put up with. I should have made something else tonight to go with it, so I wouldn't just be standing here running my jaws, but I didn't. So we're just waiting on the cornbread to get done, and it may not be any good. I don't know. I feel like it's got too much cornmeal in it. I feel like maybe it should have been a cup of cornmeal. I mean, it'll taste good. I think it'll taste fine. It just won't be Donnie's. Don't y'all tell him I said that. But he told me how to make it, so I don't know. We'll just have to see how it turns out, won't we? If I don't keep peeping at it, it'll probably get done a lot quicker. Yeah, that's totally going to be too thick. And I'm going to bump the temp up to 500. Go on. Shoo, shoo, shoo. So, note to self, pour myself a glass of buttermilk. Ooh. Roger, you know it's weird. I love like sour cream. I like cottage cheese. I love yogurt. But buttermilk is not something, I've only tasted it like once. I'll taste it again just to see. Do you drink buttermilk, Roger? Now, my daddy, I guess my mama too, loves buttermilk. My mother-in-law, she drinks it all the time. Fagan, that's enough. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Here we go. Ready? I don't know. You like it? Ugh. Mm. No, thank you. I don't like it. Oh my goodness. What in the world? No, thank you. I don't think I like buttermilk. Let's see. I was trying to think of what it might be good with, but nothing. Not to drink, anyway. No, I don't think so. Woo! Give me sweet milk all day long, but I don't want any buttermilk. Oh my goodness. I think that is only the second time I remember ever trying it. I'm sure I tried it as a kid. I don't remember it, but no, I don't like it. Woo, that was rough. And I just barely took a little drink. Now, I love to put it in stuff and make stuff with it. Biscuits and cornbread, pie, cakes. But, because it does have that little wang and it gives it that wang, but I do like, yeah, like I said, I like yogurt. So, you know, I thought I might like it, okay? No, I don't. Ruin my supper, Roger. I think, Fagan, hey, I shouldn't have gave you that toy, should I? Listen, what are you talking about? Go get it. There you go. There you go. Bring it over here. I kicked it across the floor. He went and got it. He'll lay it down and just bark and want you to throw it, so I just kicked it with my foot. I'm going to go ahead and turn this. I've still got this on high. I'm going to go ahead and just turn it on warm and pop the lid back on it. I noticed Kevin was watching, my nephew. Kevin, if y'all want a bowl of beef stew, just let me know. I'll run you some over. They're over at Granny's. If you're still watching. Yeah, this Mexican cornbread is going to totally be too thick. I like mine thin. And my mother-in-law makes really good Mexican cornbread. She actually makes it like Donnie does, and it's thin. So I think he told me wrong. Y'all, please excuse my dog. He's in the other room just barking his little head off. Fagan. So, those of you just joining, we're just hanging out and talking. I've tried some buttermilk. Don't like it. I made beef stew tonight. It's so good. I love beef stew. Run you some over? Okay. You wait on me, Roger. Well, my oven's heated, so hopefully this cornbread will be done in a minute. It's not looking too good, but we're gonna eat it anyway. If I would quit opening the oven and looking at it, it'd probably get done a lot faster, right? Fagan! Y'all, I got a kid. I gave him a new toy today too, so if you just started watching. I am not sponsored by Coke Zero. But after I had the buttermilk, I had to get something to wash that out. So, Roger, you got any more bright ideas? I tried the buttermilk. I'll bring you a cold glass of buttermilk, Roger. How about that? To go with it. Now, I do like to drink sweet milk, or that's what us Southerners call like regular milk, like 2% milk or whole milk. We call it sweet milk. I do like to drink sweet milk with my soup or chili or stew. That's my go-to drink when I have that. So we're just timing down here, waiting on this Mexican cornbread to get done, and it's getting there. I just want it to get browner. I did put butter, and the butter kind of got really brown, so some of it's going to be really brown, where some of that butter got brown before I put it in there, and some of it's going to be a light golden brown, so we'll go with it. Let me grab a little plate out and put it on. And, you know, I was talking about my can opener. Here's another thing. I was talking about that Pampered Chef one and it being so expensive. I have tons of Pampered Chef stuff. This Pampered Chef, okay? But like I said, that can opener is just too expensive. But also, my mother-in-law has that can opener and I can't figure out how to use it. So, I'm just going to stick with just a normal, regular old can opener. But I do need a new one. Debbie, I think your internet's slow tonight or something. Is anybody else getting stuck? We're getting ready. We're about there. I'm going to go ahead and put a little more stew in my bowl so everybody who's just joined. Fagan! Fagan! Come here. He's just going off in another room and laying down his toy and barking at it. That's all he's doing. So there we go. If you just joined, you can see my soup. No, it's stew. It's not soup. With the big chunks, with the good gravy in it. It's really good. Nope, nothing else. Fagan, come here, buddy. All right, let me check on this cornbread one more time. Oh yeah, it's getting good and brown now. I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna leave it another minute or two. Okay, let's see what he's got going on. I guarantee he's laying in there barking at it. Fagan, did you lose it? Did you lose it? You did not lose it. I'm shutting the door on you. I shut the door on him. All right, let's see now. I think my cornbread is probably done. So if you can see, it's pretty thick. I don't think Donnie's is usually this thick, but maybe it is. I'm gonna go ahead. This end is a little browner. Probably should let it cool a little bit before I try to cut it. But, you know, I'm not going to. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it. Let's see if it's good and golden brown on that side. It's probably gonna be pretty good. It's maybe not too thick. There we go, it's good and hot. So there's my Mexican cornbread, guys. So tonight we've got beef stew and Mexican cornbread. So hopefully you guys will give that a try. It's not as thick as I thought it would be. So I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a little taste. I think Sherry makes, there's Sherry, I think she makes Mexican cornbread. She'll have to send me her recipe too. That pepper is hot. So, when you get a bite with the jalapeno pepper, it's definitely gonna be hot. All right, y'all, that's supper tonight. Hope y'all give it a try. Beef stew and Mexican cornbread. Thank y'all for watching me, and I hope y'all enjoy my videos. And if you do, go ahead and share them if you don't mind. Share them with your friends, your family, and I'm getting close to that 1,000 mark, so maybe if everybody will share them, I'll hit it before the end of the month. I'd like to hit it before the end of the year, but thanks for watching. If you missed it, go back, watch the one from earlier today on how to make the beef stew, and then go back and watch the beginning of this one, and you can see how to make the Mexican cornbread. And you can listen to my dog bark. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.